Hey everyone, I'm Everyday Buddyfighter, and this is a deck profile for Deity Dragon Tribe in Magic World as of the new set, True Awakening of Deities. Of course, it does not feature all the cards that in Japan we can have access to, but it is what it is. So, the flag, of course, is Magic World, and my buddy is Gargantua Blade Mage, since it is the monster I will always call, no matter what, in any game. Starting up our monster lineup with for the Daybreak War Gargantua Dragon card. It is now the typical Garga that you go into, as this draw effect is very easy to use and very beneficial as you can draw into your G Evo cards. Of course, the regular Gargantua Dragon is still used in the deck. Add 2 copies just because it's there. And going into the Magic World Dragon Gods, I play 1 copy of Flare Mage Dragon, as its quadruple attack can be useful in certain situations. I do not rely on the card, so I will only play 1. But if I were to rely on the card, it would be Gargantua Blade Mage, which is the buddy of my deck because you play it at 4. You can call it normally by paying 2 gauge, but of course TGEO is the best way to go since you can use its burn effect very easily that way. But its best effect is that when you cast a spell to destroy a monster on your opponent's field, most of your spells are counters, and of course during your turn you will be playing a lot of spells anyway, so it is easy to use it on your turn and your opponent's turn, which pretty much can change the tide of battle very easily, and of course the high burn damage is very useful too. The rest of the Deity Dragon Tribe lineup is very small. 3 copies of Transmitter Magic Dog, since you can only call it once per turn. I only go to run it at 3 in case I break into more copies. It's basically worthless in my hand. 2 copies of Magic Cat. I used to play it at 3, but I cut it down to 2 since honestly it only lets me add 1, and sometimes I will break into monsters and then it's just like, oh, it kinda is a bit of a bummer. And honestly, since I can only call with other Deity Dragon Tribe monsters or other cards that are Deity Dragon Tribe, it's not really as useful as I would like. And 1 copy of Olu Owl, just in case I accidentally gauge my Gargantua Dragon cards. I just want to get them back, and Olu Owl is pretty much the only way I can get them back. The only item I run in the deck is the Guard Broom at 2 copies. It gains double attack when you play a spell, which is very easy to do, obviously. And if you use Tallulah Care, you can restand it for 3 attacks, which I think is pretty cool. And getting to the spell lineup, honestly, your spell lineup can be very flexible, so it really is up to you on how you want to orient your spells. But I do play 2 copies of the set spell, Great Spell Deity Dragon, since it does fetch your spells from the drop zone. Pretty much most of your spells are counters, so you want certain cards from your drop zone that you already played, go get them. It's great. I play 4 copies of Examinate. It's very easy because it's just super easy. You just have a Deity Dragon Tribe and search, check top 3, keep 1, gauge 1, and discard 1. You can discard a spell and then get it back with the set spell, or send it back with Blade Mage, which I think is pretty cool. And it's a counter, which means you can play it on any turn, so you technically can't break into multiple copies, as you could just play it again later. 3 copies of Sephiroth's Lecture is just like Examinate, except you go and check top 2 and only after you play a spell, which is easy enough. Obviously you're playing Magic World, so obviously you want to play multiple copies of this card. And then there's 3 copies of Nice One, which got this new Garga artwork. I think it's pretty cool. Draw 2 cards for 1 gauge. Awesome. 2 copies of Jump Testa is not only an item searcher, but also gets you 5 life during your opponent's turn if you so want to. It can come in very clutch to avoid impacts or certain burn effects that will just completely wipe you out. 2 copies of Abracadabra. It's a spell, no. Why wouldn't you play this? 1 copy of God Magic First Try. It gets you 2 gauge, and then you can search down next time for your drop zone. So in a sense, even if you don't have the set spell, there is still a way to get it. And of course, you want to diversify your spells. And of course, God Magic Next is a null card or a crit reducer, whichever one you want. But some decks don't really follow this, so I don't want to run too many copies of this card. 2 copies of Protect Magic, since I feel like it's basically just a better fake out. I do like to play this card. It's very easy to fill, and it also gauges life in a draw, which is really nice. And 2 copies of Wall Warrior. It sends certain cards back. It is pretty much your out to Electro Deity, since you can just respond to their activation and just prevent them from playing, or just remove any problematic cards that will prevent you from like destroying monsters or so on and so forth. 2 copies of Tarukale, since it is a rest card and also can restand your cards and then let you, just abuse Garga's abilities. 2 copies of Buddy Block. I am honestly very happy that this card finally made it to the English side, since it's a very necessary card for the most part in a lot of decks. 2 copies of Chest Break, since Max Dragons exist and that's a bummer. And ending off the deck with an impact, of course, you have your Deity Gargantua Punisher from Magic World. Easy conditions, easy damage, pretty great to have. Combined with Blade Mage, you can do 10 damage in 1 turn, which is fantastic. And that's it. That's the deck profile for Deity Dragon Tribe in Magic World. And next time I'll start talking about Mystic Knights. So I've been Everyday Buddyfighter, and I'll see you later.